Hello everyone, and welcome to the Missouri Historical Society's Virtual Learning Day for March 2021. My name is Carla, and this is our virtual craft room. Our theme for this month is We Demand, Voices of St. Louis Women. Today I'm going to show you how to make paper dolls modeled after women highlighted in our Beyond the Ballot exhibit, and in the book Groundbreakers, Rule Breakers, and Rebels by MHS's own exhibit manager, Katie Moon, and illustrated by local artist Rory. My samples today depict three women, Arama Pinchui, S. Louise Marsh, and Frankie Muse Freeman. Now, diplomat Arama Pinchui, also known as Marie Rouenza, lived in the late 1600s to early 1700s. She was the daughter of Chief Rouenza of the Kaskaskian tribe who wanted her to marry a French fur trader to help with economic relations. Now, she was a devout Catholic who wanted to devote her life to the church, so she refused. She eventually agreed to the marriage on the condition that her husband returned to the church and their children would be baptized Catholic, and also with hopes that her parents would convert to Catholicism, which they did. Because she helped her community, she was very highly respected. Advocate S. Louise Marsh was a mother and a club woman at a time when mothers had no legal rights over their own children. Fathers had total control, including the right to sell their children. Louise convinced a legislator and attorney to help her get a new law called the Marsh Joint Guardianship Law passed in 1913, which granted equal rights and equal say in parenting decisions to both parents. Lastly, attorney Frankie Muse Freeman graduated from Howard University School of Law in 1947 and moved to St. Louis with her husband. Unable to find a job, she opened her own practice and partnered with the NAACP to take on discrimination cases. In 1952, she filed a lawsuit that ended segregated public housing in St. Louis. The St. Louis Housing Authority was so impressed with her skills, they hired her to be their general counsel. In 1964, she was appointed and served as the first woman and only black member of the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights until 1980. She returned to St. Louis in 1982 and was a leader in the civil rights movement until her death in 2018 at age 101. Now, these women are just examples. You can choose to research and model your paper doll or dolls after any other women who have made an impact on St. Louis from the exhibit, from the book, or other people that are highlighted in our other craft videos. Now, I have included a template for Louise Marsh and Frankie Muse Freeman based on drawings by Rory in this book. And I also included a generic template that can be used for any woman. I also used this one for Arama Pinchui since we don't really know what she looked like. And this will also be easier for younger kids to do. Now, you can also draw your own picture or trace a picture of your choice. If tracing a picture using a thinner or a see-through paper, you'll need to transfer it to a sturdier base, such as poster board or thin cardboard. Now, you can do this by using some transfer paper or carbon paper like this, or you can rub the back of your outline with a graphite pencil and then retrace it onto thicker paper. Now, I did that for this one here. Let's see, where did I put her? And this one for S. Louise Marsh. You can do that, and you might want to tape the papers together so that they don't shift. You'll also use this method when making the clothes for your doll. Now, if you're using a template, you can cut it out and trace it onto heavier paper or thin cardboard with a pencil. For mine, I used poster board and a thin piece of cardboard, and I also used an old file folder, a manila file folder for this one. After the outline is done, you can go over the outline with a black fine tip marker, so you'll be able to see it better when making the clothes. And once that is done, you can add details. Like on here, I don't know if you can see this, but you can add details like face, facial features, hair, hands, or even clothes if you want to. Then you can cut out your doll, or you can wait until you've made the clothes. I find it easier to actually wait until you make all the clothes before you cut out the doll. And then I would also cut slightly around the edge so that you can go around the finer details like her facial features or her hand. Now also, if you want your doll to stand up, you're going to want to make sure that your base is flat, like this. So then you will cut 2 slits, just with scissors, cut 2 little slits, and then you can add a strip of paper in the slits and curve it around the back so that you can get it to stand up like that. Very simple. And you can see you don't cut the feet out on either one of these. Now once you've made your paper doll, it's time to design the clothes and accessories. To do this, you'll need tracing paper or paper that's thin enough to see through. Now I was actually able to see through just a piece of construction paper, but you can also use computer paper. You're going to want to lay that over your doll so you can see the outline of the doll. Now it's probably hard to see that's on camera, but I can see it. And then you will take a pencil and outline your doll. And that's all there is to it. You can be creative. You can research fashions for your time period, for the person that lived in the time period that you're talking about. And after you've drawn the outline of clothes, and I have a little sample of my outline here, you might want to trace it onto thicker paper, or you can just leave it as is. I would suggest coloring and decorating the clothes first and making sure that you leave tabs to fold over the arms and shoulders and maybe even the sides to hold them in place. You can also decorate the outfits with patterned scrapbook paper and different embellishments. Cut out the clothes and accessories, and then you can try them on. Once you have them, and I even made some extra outfits here, you can share your dolls or use your dolls to share the story of a woman who was an important part of St. Louis history. Now this activity will take some time, but I hope you enjoy learning about someone new and creating your own historical paper doll or dolls. As always, we would love to see what you come up with. Post photos and tag us at #MHSLearn. And remember to keep making history. Bye, everyone.